Hello, and welcome to a guided meditation for people who think meditation is stupid. This is the video that once and for all proves that your thoughts about meditation are wrong or right. This is a competition between you and me, and we are in a fight. Just kidding. I'm a hippie making a hippie video full of hippie beliefs, and the most aggressive thing that's going to happen is that I'm going to casually try and indoctrinate you to my lifestyle, poison your brain, and force you to meditate occasionally for the rest of your life. So let's get started. Meditation will change your life. Meditation is the most wonderfulest thing ever and made my life perfect. Meditation is the end-all be-all, and the fact that I meditate and you don't means that you're bad and stupid. Sorry. Meditation is a bunch of people telling you that if you could only listen to your breathing, then all your problems would be solved. Meditation can and is used as a tool by people who want you to shut up about the very valid, shitty things that are happening to you. Why don't you go meditate? You know what you need? Some meditation. Meditation is a bunch of know-it-all, no sense of humor having, green juice drinking idiots. If you've thought these thoughts and more about meditation, you're not wrong. You have read the situation perfectly. But the question remains, if I agree that meditation is all these things, then why did I make this video? And why did you click on it? Maybe you've tried meditation in the past, and you want it to work, but whenever you've tried, you've gotten frustrated by your lack of results and the fact that it's so boring. Maybe you felt like a bunch of life answers were supposed to magically pop into your head, and you felt like you failed because that didn't happen. Maybe trying to think about nothing is so hard/impossible to do that it's just been easier to try to avoid your unpleasant thoughts. Maybe you clicked just to see what arguments I could possibly come up with, and you don't have any interest in meditating. Whatever the reason, we're still here now, so I'm going to go ahead and try to describe why I think meditation is all of the things I just mentioned, and also an extremely useful tool that has the chance to make your life much better. Not paying your bills for you better, there's no magic here, but maybe in your worst moments, when you're feeling stressed, low, upset, whatever it is, meditation could take the edge off. Meditation is a 10% off coupon for your worst feelings, and if you're like me, then you've had some pretty terrible fucking feelings in your life, and shaving 10% off of them doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world. Imagine a dumb dog. All this dog wants to do is rip up your belongings, dig holes in your backyard, and generally cause you trouble. Naturally, it's pretty annoying to be around this dog. You don't want all your shoes ripped up, and your backyard is nice. You just planted those azalea bushes, and they were expensive, goddammit. So, how do we get the dog to stop bothering us? Put it in a crate? No, because unfortunately, this is a magical dog who can walk through walls like Shadowcat from X-Men. No matter where you put it, it can instantly find you again. If you haven't guessed already, this dumb dog is your mind. We do not have the ability to control what thoughts pop into our head, and we do not have the ability to force the dog to behave. No matter how many times you yell at the dog, it can simply phase through a wall and continue its path of destruction. Even if you try to leave the dog behind and drive far, far away, it can phase through walls until it finds you and barks nonstop in your face as loud as it can. So what can we do? How can we deal with the fact that we all have a powerful mind dog trouncing through our subconscious azalea bushes? Well, if escaping it isn't possible, we'll have to distract it. If the dog can do whatever it wants to, we'll have to serve up something better than trashing our bushes. Chances are, you've already found some ways to distract the mind dog. Video games, podcasts, TV, music, substances, exercise, talking to others, focusing on work, these can all be great ways to distract the mind dog. Obviously, that's not all these things are, but if you check in with yourself, you can usually tell if some of what you're getting from these things is at least partially to control the mind dog. A good check is to see if you get anxious or upset when these activities are ending, because it means you have to be alone with yourself again. The problem with these distractions is that they're just not always available. And depending on how much and the ways we indulge in them, they can be harmful to other parts of our lives. There's no way to escape the fact that sometimes in life, it's just you and the dog. Even if it's just for small moments at a time as you're switching activities, if you have a really active and destructive mind dog, just those few minutes can be painful and upsetting. Plus, no one wants to be tied to activities because they have to be. People want to do things because they want to. So we need a distraction for the mind dog, and we need it to be available in every situation we can possibly imagine for the future. And that leads us to the breath. This is why the breath is the staple of meditation. It's always there, no matter what. If it isn't there, it means you're dead, so you're probably pretty relaxed already. So we've established our problem. A frantic and annoying mind dog that wants to ruin our happy thoughts, and we've established our distraction that will always be there, the breath. The only problem with this? Well, it's boring and unconvincing. All this buildup just for this? Focus on your breathing? That sounds dumb as fuck, and like it wouldn't be helpful. Well, once again, you're right. Focusing on your breathing is boring. Even after years of doing it, sometimes I won't meditate because it's more exciting to keep feeling manic and chaotic, and the idea of slowly convincing the mind dog to stop digging is too boring. And you're right again. There's a good chance it won't be super helpful at the beginning. Unfortunately, meditation is one of those things that has to be done on faith at the start. Faith that you are building a new set of skills that will benefit you partially in the moment, but mostly over time as you gain more familiarity and experience. I'd imagine it's similar to working out in that way, but I hate working out and avoid it whenever possible, so I'm not really qualified to speak on that. So we're going to practice focusing on our breathing. And this is so boring that it can be really hard to do, especially for more than a few seconds at a time. Again, after years of meditating, there are plenty of times where I try to meditate for 20 minutes and end up just thinking about whatever I was thinking about before instead. And that's my big pitch to you guys. It's worth it to focus on breathing, even though it's boring and even though it doesn't always work. If that seems anticlimactic, then I guess my question is this. How annoying is your mind dog? Because mine controlled me. My mind dog barked in my face from the moment I woke up until the second I went to bed and into my dreams each night. Unless I was doing some heavy distractions, that dog made me feel pretty bad things almost every second of my life. And eventually, that sucked more than trying to learn how to do a really boring thing. So this is your hurdle to face, your decision to make. No one can make you meditate. If you're going to, you'll have to decide you want to. So, do you want to? If you do, then I'd recommend getting to a relatively quiet place, lying down or sitting down, and closing your eyes. If you're not somewhere where you can do this right now, don't worry about it, but this video is about to enter full meditation mode, so I'd recommend coming back at a later time when you will be able to close your eyes and relax. And before we begin, let me address a couple more things. It's normal to be nervous. It's normal to be fearful that you won't be able to meditate good enough or that you'll try your best and it just won't work for you. It's normal to assume that magical, life-changing calmness has poured over everyone else who has listened to this, and that when you feel relatively the same in a few moments, that means you've failed. And I want you to listen very closely to me when I tell you that you have not failed. And this isn't some hippie, let me make you feel good even though you secretly suck bullshit. I'm not interested in handing that to you because I want you to find my argument convincing, and I'm guessing that fluff turns you off. And yet, it's still true that already you have not failed. And that's because meditation is one of those things where being open to the idea of it and trying it for the very first time are actually the hardest steps. And there are plenty of other hard steps, to be sure. If this is a path you decide to really go down, it will be frustrating, you will have to gain skills, and it will be hard. But none of those things will be harder than making the decision to try meditation when you have no reason to, besides that other people have said it could be helpful. This is a leap of faith, the rest is just learning a skill. Okay, it's time. If you're not already, close your eyes. Begin to notice the sounds around you. Let them wash over you, combining into the ambiance of the moment. Hear details in the sounds that you haven't noticed until just now. Gently place your hand on top of your chest and begin to notice your breath. Notice how it causes your hand to rise and fall. Notice how the air feels entering and leaving your body. Notice how most likely, even in these few seconds, that you've probably probably gotten distracted and begun to think about whatever you were thinking about before. It's okay. So has everyone else who's ever listened to this. After all, our mind dogs have a lot of practice, and they know how to bark loud. So, did it work? For a few moments, at any point in this video, was the dog 10% calmer? Maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, yeah, I guess I felt a little bit calmer, but that's because I was lying down with my eyes closed listening to a random YouTuber who happens to have a soothing voice. First of all, thank you. I do have a soothing voice. Second, guess what? That still counts as a meditation success. No one said you have to be able to meditate effectively while simultaneously dancing at a rave and giving a PowerPoint presentation. Creating time and space for yourself, giving yourself permission to take a break from your life and spend some time in a calm location is part of a meditation habit. You're giving a gift to yourself, the gift of saying, you know what? I deserve to feel calm right now. I deserve to try to give that to myself. If the only calmness you get is because you're lying down and closing your eyes in a quiet room, so what? Meditation is not magic. Meditation is a 10% off coupon for your worst feelings, so give yourself credit for any calmness you felt during this, and try to remember to give yourself another moment of calmness sometime soon. It's also worth noting, meditation does not have to be a long, drawn-out affair. 1 minute of meditation can be incredibly useful. You don't have to listen to anything or go anywhere. You can set a 1-minute timer, close your eyes, and focus on your breath for 60 seconds. Just adding this in any frequency you can remember to do will still build up this skill and give you a tiny bit of instant relief. If you like it, you can build up to 3 or 5 minutes on your own timeline. Well, we've reached the end of the road. Even if this video didn't give you any relief at all, guess what? You're still a meditator. You still did the darn thing. You still carved out space for yourself and gave yourself a relaxing environment, and that's a success. When I'm really upset, I usually have to meditate twice, once while I continue to think of all my frantic thoughts, and then another time to actually try to meditate. There are links in the description to meditations that I enjoy, and if you're interested in continuing to learn about meditation, the next steps are to find some that really resonate with you, and to make a point to listen to them when you're particularly stressed or when you just want to practice. And the next time your mind dog is acting up, here's to having a new way to calm it down.